Hi everybody, welcome back to Stumpy Grump Scale Speed Shop. This is Craig, and I've got another My Completed Builds video for you. This will be number 14, and will be builds number 66 through 70. So let's get the camera turned around and get things going. Okay, so we'll start things off with the AMT 1929 Ford Model A Roadster. This is the mod rod kit. You get enough pieces and parts to make two separate kits. So that makes it like a true 2-in-1, I guess. This one I did as the hot rod. I painted it in Createx Pearl Plum with Createx Clear. I used the kit supplied mod rod decals, the stripe there, against the purple. I thought it looked pretty cool. I did use, I think, the spare engine out of, I want to say, the AMT 1940 Ford Sedan Delivery Three Stooges kit. I think it had an extra engine, some extra goodies like the tri-power setup and that. I didn't really like the kit engine for this. I taped off and airbrush Mellotal Chrome for the gas tank straps. I used the kit wheels and tires, the headlights and the bumper guards, and just kind of made do with, improvised on them. I did get the tail lights from my parts box. I don't know what they came from. But a little challenging on the parts fit side of things, especially the front end. I always have a problem with these older car front ends, the 20s and 30s and 40s. Don't know why, but I always do. The top here was done in Anita's metallic white and the pearl plum for the stripes. I'll take that off and show the interior in a two-tone gray. No real gauge decals or anything like that to help. You do get some extra parts, and just a few here I'll show, because I already had them painted. The engine cover, or hood, if you will, came out real nice. I wish I could have used it, but using this different engine, the alternator stuck out a little too far and it won't fit on there. And you get a pickup truck bed. Now this actually comes very, very close to being able to build the a la carte kit. Doesn't come with the decals or anything like that, but with some of the parts, the truck bed, and it's just missing this front piece right here. It connects to the radiator, or to the front. It's a radiator piece instead of that. That's the only thing missing to make this the a la carte, as far as I know. So that's pretty cool. Okay, in the second part of the mod rod kit, I did this one in stock form. You can make it a racer or whatever, but I made this one stock. I painted it in Apple Barrel Laguna Blue, and I used Anita's Glossy Black for the fenders and the step there. I just used regular black craft paint for the top. Okay, that's with the convertible top. That's with the top up. I'll swing it around, just pop it off. I just set it on there. And you'll also get that piece right there you can put on to have it with the boot down. Now you also get little chrome pieces that fit right there for the handles for the rumble seat. If you put those on, which I did initially, that doesn't fit. It sits on top of the handles, which isn't realistic. The top up fits fine, but that doesn't. So I just popped those handles off to display it with the boot down like that. Did a brown and tan interior, brown carpet, door panels, and a khaki seat. So again, this one gave me a little bit of trouble with the front end and the suspension setup. It's just kind of funky for me to do. like I mentioned, just not good at these old car suspensions. The fit is okay and everything, but it's a pretty cool kit because you get to build. You can build like four or five different versions of these things, and still build two of them. So you get quite a few extra pieces for that. So pretty cool kit. And next is the AMT 1970 Chevy Corvette LT1 ZR1. Can make it either way. This one is painted in Anita's dark plum with Createx gloss clear. I use bare metal foil for the trim. From the parts box, I went ahead and used some Prager style rims to give it a day 2 look. I used Fireball Model Works BF Goodrich Radio TA decals, white letter decals. Spiff it up a little bit. I did hand paint the emblems. Okay, going underneath, just did some detail painting. I didn't go nuts with any kind of weathering or anything like that. Just some detail painting. We'll go into the engine compartment. I did add spark plug wires and some more detail painting to that. Around to the other side. I have an engine bay decal or two to help detail it. We'll go to the interior. I want to say I use Best Metal Car Parts decals for the gauges. Molitor chrome on the steering wheel. And a quick shot from the passenger side. You can see the radio that came with the Best Metal Car Parts decal sheet. This is a pretty decent kit in itself. Pretty decent details. The fit and finish is pretty good. It definitely looks like a 70 Corvette. It goes together okay in the interior, the engine. Some nicely detailed parts in there. I don't really think I had too many issues with this one at all, so pretty good going together. And looks pretty good. Just gotta be careful, the tires might stick out too far from the fender wells. Might have adjusted that just a bit to make sure they didn't stick out too far. But overall, this is a pretty good kit. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. Next up, we have the Revell 1969 Chevy Chevelle SS 396 Special Edition kit. This is an all-new tooling that they came out with a couple of years ago. This is an absolutely fantastic kit. I painted this one in a custom mix of craft paints to try to match the factory metallic green color. I should have did more research before I did the video. I can't remember what the name of the color is. But anyways, I did add a vinyl top. I'll talk about that in a minute. Bare metal foil for the trim. I can't remember if the tires came with the printing on there or if they were decals. but either way, I used the factory 5-spoke rally wheels. Obviously the white SS stripe along the side. Okay, the underside. Just a little minor dry brushing on the chassis of the frame there to get a few details to stand out. Other than that, just detail painting. Okay, and into the engine compartment, I did add the spark plug wires and the heater hoses. You get the detailing decals on the fan shroud and the radiator support. To the interior, again I added door latch to that one. Bare metal foil on the seat trim. And we'll zing it around to the driver's side. You do get gauge decals on the decal sheet in this one. Carefully brush painted Molotov chrome on the steering wheel trim there. Now look at the vinyl top. I did the vinyl top. I used 0.010 by 0.030 strip styrene for the seams and to outline it right there. Bare metal foil. Okay, after I painted the car in the green, the metallic green, what I did is I took the craft paint and sprayed it through my airbrush a little bit thicker than I normally have it, at a little bit of a distance, which gave it just a little bit of texture. And then I went over it at the end with another coat, a little bit more thinned out, thinned regularly, to get the color down right. One of these days I'll go ahead and do a tutorial on that on the next vinyl top I do. But in reality, you know, in knocking it down to 25th scale, you're really not going to see much of that vinyl pattern at all. So I think that's pretty accurate. Like I said, this is an absolutely fantastic kit from Revell. Also based on the 1968 Chevelle tooling. They fit just absolutely outstanding. They go together like so easy. Just take the parts off the sprue, throw some glue in the box with them, shake it up, and it'll come out pretty much built like this. I really wish they'd do like another 70 Chevelle or 71, 72 Chevelle like this too. That'd be really nice. Okay, and we will finish off this segment with the Revell 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda 426. This is a 1/24 scale, so it's an old monogram mold. This one is more basic. I tried to match the factory Citron Gold, but I think I got it a little bit too dark. But Doesn't matter because I really like the color. Again, a custom mix of craft paints for the color. Createx Gloss Clear. Wet sanded, polished, and waxed. Bare metal foil for all the trim. You do get, so I can get it to stay on here. You do get louvers for the back. I'm iffy about what they look like, so I'm going to take them off when it comes back around. Obviously I use the black billboard stripe. We'll slide that off. I wasn't really thinking. I put it on before I sprayed the gloss on, so it's glossy rather than maybe satin or matte like it's supposed to be out of the factory, but I don't really care. I like the way it looks. I think it looks pretty sharp that way. I added Firestone SS radial white letter decals from Fireball Model Works. I just think those outline white letters look pretty good on these cars. And we'll go underneath. A little bit of attempt at some overspray. And I took a Sharpie, outlined the fuel lines and the brake lines. I just did some detail painting. I didn't go crazy with any kind of weathering or anything like that. Now on this one, one-piece exhaust. I mean, not a one-piece exhaust. It's molded in. Oh, the whole exhaust outside of the tips there is molded into the chassis until you get to the where the headers there meet. But yeah. Okay, we'll look at the engine compartment. I'll leave the shaker on for a second. Just detail painted the battery cables and that. I added heater hoses and spark plug wires. Very carefully hand painted the Hemi Cuda on the shaker with Maltol chrome on a brush. You see the spark plug wires. I just have the shaker sitting on, so I can pop that off and get a little bit better look at things. And we'll take it around to the passenger side. Show the interior. Not a lot going on. I did wood grain the dash and the pistol grip shifter. And the steering wheel. This is one of your fairly basic monogram molds, again, in the 1/24 scale. There's not that many pieces. There's only 70 pieces in the kit. It's pretty basic. Not, you know, probably your next step once you get past doing your snap togethers, probably for the young ones. I would highly recommend it for that because it really goes together good. And at least in my opinion, it does look like a 1971 Cuda when it's all done. So I did add Firestone SS radial white letter tires, decals from Fireball Model Works, and just detail painted the wheels. All in all, even for a basic 70-piece kit, it's turned out pretty good. Turned out pretty nice. And that'll do it for this episode of my completed builds. This is Craig from Stumpy Grump Scale Speed Shop, signing off, saying thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.